You've heard that quote that says, two is company, three is a crowd, and four is a party. That doesn't apply to a narcissist. For a narcissist, two, they're just getting started. Three is a state of confusion. And four is total division and destruction. Narcissists love more people being added to a toxic situation. You know why? Because they get the chance to do one of the things they do very well and they love to do it: triangulation. So what is triangulation? Triangulation is one of the key tactics that narcissists use against us to control us. And it is designed just to divide and conquer and to create a state of confusion, because narcissists love confusion. They don't like peace, they don't like harmony, and they definitely don't like one sound, one band. They want everybody divided. So at the root word of triangulation is the word triangle. And that's because triangulation consists of three parts. Let's think of it this way. I'm going to use the analogy of a court case. There is a prosecutor. That's the one who's prosecuting the wrongdoing. There is a victim. That's the person who has endured or suffered an injustice or a crime. And then there is the judge. That's the person who's determining who's right or who's wrong. Most of the time, the narcissists, they always want to be the victim. They have been done wrong. There has been some type of injustice, and they are the victim. Now, you and somebody else, it could be your friend, it could be a family member. If you're at work, it could be another coworker. But you and somebody else are going to fill the other two roles. The only difference is you are not aware the narcissist has assigned these roles to you. When you are the judge, the narcissist will come to you, and their main goal is to convince you that the prosecutor is wrong in saying what they're saying about the narcissist who is the victim. They want you to pick a side, and that side needs to be on their side, the side of the victim. So when they come to you with gossip, when they come to you with their story, the whole goal is to get you to side with them. Then there is the prosecutor. That is the person a narcissist is really out to get, because that's the person who's quote unquote accusing the narcissist of doing something that they didn't do. Because remember, they're a victim. They haven't committed a crime. A crime has been committed against them. So they will assign somebody that role of prosecutor, and they will do a smear campaign, and they will talk bad about that person and how badly that person has mislabeled, mistreated them, and done them wrong. Well, the reason that this is so evil and so deadly is because a lot of this and most of this is based on lies that the narcissists have conjured up, and they have told a bunch of people these stories and these lies in an effort to make two people look bad. They will make the judge look bad if you disagree with them and you're not on their side and you rule against the narcissist. And they definitely and certainly want to make the prosecutor look bad, because you're the one who's coming after them and saying that they did something, quote unquote, they didn't do. So the narcissist will put together this whole scenario. It's almost like a screenplay of actors. The only thing is you didn't even know you were in a play, and they assign you roles, and they expect you to know your script, and they expect you to abide by the rules of this screenplay. And at the end of the play, the whole goal, and at the end of this court case, the whole goal is for everybody to be at odds with everybody else. You should be arguing with me, and I should be arguing with them, and I shouldn't like them because they don't like me, and I don't like you, and you don't like her, and she don't like us. And it's just a whole cluster of confusion and he said, she said mess. And the narcissist will sit back with the smirk that they always display on their face, because guess what? They have divided and conquered, and they love it. This whole ordeal of triangulation is not new. Let's think about the first instance of triangulation. That goes back to Adam and Eve and the serpent in the garden. Let's think about what happened. So you've got the serpent, the devil, the snake, who comes up to Eve with the old famous he said, she said. He tells her, did God really say? Can you really not eat from this one tree that's in the garden? He starts to talk about something somebody else was supposedly had said to her. And he starts this ball of confusion and this gossip and this windmill of he said, she said, and who really said. So before it's over, we know the story. Eve eats the apple. She bites the apple. She gives it to Adam. He bites the apple. And here we go with the fall of humanity. So after all of this, let me tell you what happened. The devil, the snake, the serpent, as he's described, was the true originator of this triangulation. But the person who took the downfall was Eve. When we talk about the apple and the garden and the fall of mankind, everybody mentions Eve. She's smeared throughout the centuries and the ages and in the storybooks. The whole time, the true confusion starter was the serpent. Then there is Adam. The last we hear from him, he is hiding from God, because God is saying, Adam, where are you? God is looking for Adam, and he has hidden out of shame. Then there is God. God kicks everybody out of the garden. Everybody gets kicked out of the garden. And the serpent's punishment, the serpent, the snake, that old devil, he is charged with crawling on his belly. He's going to eat dirt and dust all of his life. Isn't that like the narcissists? They low down. They crawl on their belly. Very evil, very serpentine, very reptilian, evil, dark entities. The same that it was in the days of Adam and Eve. That dark entity resides in a narcissist, and that is why they have such evil in them. And they use those ancient tactics. Triangulation has been around for ages. It is nothing new. So how do you combat triangulation? Let's talk about that. Once you identify that person is toxic, that person is destructive, and that person is narcissistic, one of the best things to do is to cut communication. If I'm not talking to you, there is no way that I can be confused in a conversation with you or about you or among you, because I'm not even talking to you. So no contact is the supreme way to go when it comes to a narcissist. Secondly, if you have to, because there are some times where you have to co-parent and you have to speak with the narcissist and you have to be involved with them, make sure you set clear boundaries. Your yes is your yes, your no is your no, and keep it as few words as possible. Document. If there's a text message to be sent, send a text message. If there's an email to be sent, send an email. If you have to send a certified letter and in the mail, send it that way. Because if it's not in writing with a narcissist, a lot of times it doesn't exist. So make sure your yay is yay and your nay is nay with the narcissist. And lastly, don't allow them to create toxic scenarios and situations with you and other people. Remove yourself. Make sure you're not a part of those conversations. Make sure you're not around, and make sure you have no contact with the narcissist, so you cannot be confused and your name cannot be brought up in those scenarios.